Hello everybody and welcome to another video from angelgemcitycottage.blogspot.co.uk. I'm Angel Gem, nice to see you. Today's video is about my teaching Filofax, which I have done, well, my first video was about. It's an update because I've tweaked it, I've messed around with it, I've made some inserts for it, and now I've got it up and working as a really useful, really wonderful tool for me as a supply teacher to use. It's a red domino with the lovely elastic band, and you can see I've just made sure I know it's a teaching Filofax because it's got this wonderful sticker. This is from Amazon. I can't tell you the company, but if you put teacher inside sticker in, you'll find it. It's only $1.99. It's designed for cars. I've got one on my car as well in red, and I've got this one on my Filofax teacher inside. The children like it when I go into school. They know when I get my diary out, it's teacher's here. Inside, because it's a work Filofax, it doesn't have a lot of personalisation, it doesn't have a lot of pretty stuff, anything like that. I've got my business cards there. Cool. Post-it notes, stickies. I can't remember what that piece of paper is, doesn't really matter. I want a zip pocket. At the moment I haven't got one, so my poor old pens are stuck in a top-loading pocket, which can be awkward because if I put my Filofax in my bag upside down, they all fall out. Basically, blue pen, green pen, two black pens, and a highlighter pen for colour coordinating in diary and in job applications, which you'll see later on. It is a lovely May day here. It's the beginning of May. And I spent yesterday, which was our May bank holiday, the first Monday in May, filling in applications and writing letters of support. And seriously, I looked at the blue sky all day from the point where I'm sitting now. This is my dining room. This is where I set up my computer, my laptop, and I sat here all day long looking out. I can see a triangle of blue sky that way. I can see a triangle of blue sky. Oh, I can't point that way. Oh! That way. I spent the whole day looking at blue sky through the windows. Hate it. I need a full-time job. I hate applicating. Don't like applying. These are just the top loading envelopes like you get for ordinary files, but they do them in A5 size. So I bought some, did any holes that were needed, and I find them really useful for when you get a sheet and you don't want to put holes in it, or you haven't got a hole punch. You stick them in one of those and it keeps it. Pocket Filofax credit card holder, and the basic layout of the Filofax hasn't changed much. I've got my diary here. This is the week to view from Filofaxy. It's got the appointments on that side there, and on this side here it's got tasks, notes, reminders, communications, and coming up. It still works really, really well. I write down here the supply jobs I've got, or any appointments I've got that are applicable to work. So personal appointments that are going to stop me from working, I put on there as well. And on this side here at the moment I've got closing dates and dates to get applications in for jobs, more jobs. If anybody wants to employ me, I'm available to do a lot of stuff. Anything based with a computer I'd love to do. I should go back and retrain. This is my job application section. I haven't got a label or a divider or anything. Basically it comes straight after the diary, and because they're time related, they go there. I've got the month to view, Filofaxy of course. Put it all down there, and if you can see we've got names of schools and it's all colour coded. Purple is visits, orange is closing dates, pink is days when I'm not working, I'm not available to go anywhere, and green are my actual work days. So they're the supply days that I've done or that I've got booked or whatever. This week with that one there, it's a bit of a quiet week. I haven't been booked yet. I'm possibly not working today. Definitely not working tomorrow because I've got 2 school visits to do. Last year, because I did this roundabout of job applications last year as well, last year I found that keeping tabs on it was hard. You go onto the website, you pull up the Liverpool Council website, you look at the jobs, you look at the closing dates, you have to write it down, you have to keep account of when the interviews are likely to be, you have to go around and visit the schools. Very often a lot of schools expect you to visit before you apply, understandably, because you need to know you like the school and you need to know the school likes you. So I had bits of paper and post-it notes and scraps of paper here, there and everywhere, and a notebook for this school and a notebook for that school. This year I've been much more organised about it because I know I need a job. There are pressing reasons for it, should we say. Because I know I want to go back to work full time, and I will be going back to work full time in the next couple of years for sure. I've just been so much more organised about it, and I've got my list of the jobs and the dates. I try and keep that in date order. It's not always possible. Some people file it out of order, and if I can find an empty one... Come on, empty ones. Oh, do you know? You wouldn't think I had that many. Well, perhaps you would. Come on. There we go. I've compiled a... Sorry about the delay. I've compiled a sheet. Now, let me undo my Filofax properly and get this a little bit more so you can see it. Basically, it's just a sheet for the school. It's got the name and the address of the school. It's got which authority and which form I have to fill in, because the Catholic schools are in the local authority of Liverpool, Knowsley, St Helens, but you have to fill in the Catholic Education Services form, so you have to note that down. Closing date, shortlisting, lesson observations and interview date. Now I put them all down on here because once the closing date's gone, the advert disappears off the website, and you left wondering when did they say they were going to interview, and when did they say they were going to do this. This way I've got the information I need down. There's little one there that says visit with a question mark. If I organise a visit, I put it down there, and this space here and the back, which is plain, are for any notes I take off that visit which help me do the application. Finally, application completed, tick, sent off, tick, result, and I have to write in the result then. I keep these in date order, in order of closing date. So way back there they start. And what I also do is put the school's person spec behind, print that off when I get the application form. Should do it with my right side and then I'm not in front of you. Print that off, double-sided as far as possible, and only 2 sheets as far as possible, and put it behind so that when I'm doing the application form I can look at the information I've written down there, look at the person spec and try and tailor it, because so many schools want you to, well, understandably want you to be wanting to work at their school. Okay, so that's my biggest change, I think, is that I've had to bring in my job application area. My Optimist Prime, I love this divider, is school information. Okay, I designed a whole load of sheets that I could use in school that were useful for me. I mean, I go back to the same schools again and again and again, and I'm a regular at a couple of schools, and they say, hi, how are you? Have you had a good week? Yeah, fine. Have you got any jobs going? Yeah. So sometimes the school info is very useful to keep and to have. Basically, it's bog standard info that you'd need for working. Who's the head teacher? Who's the deputy? I write down the names of the staff as I get to know them. So various schools have various different teachers. Some of them have 2, some of them have 1, some of them, every school varies. The times of day, funnily enough, that can be so horrible to find out about a school. It was a school I was at, and I was in the infants, and I thought lunch started at 12, and it turned out it started at 10 past, and I was down there outside the dinner hall waiting for this lunch, going, it's time for lunch, and it wasn't. What's on the other side? Assemblies. Do I know when the assemblies are throughout the week? Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. This one here doesn't make much sense to people apart from if you're a supply teacher. Tea and coffee, is it free? Do I pay for it? Do I have to bring my own mug? Who would care? But there we are. We do. The marking scheme. Do the marking green pen? Do I have to be really positive? Is it 2 stars and a wish? What's their expectations? Do the children comment after my comments? Discipline. Usually that's just a quick note. A lot of schools use 3 ticks and you're out. So it's warning, name, tick, tick, tick down to teacher, down to the head. Is it a bell or a whistle? Do I have to go and collect her? Do I send in after the playground duty? Who's the safeguarding officer? And have they told me about the school system? And first aiders, because if a child injures themselves in a school, it's useful. This, I think, these two sides, I think, are information that any school that's having supply teachers should give to them. That there is a beautiful school that I go to, not far from here. I won't tell you its name, but I will tell you that George Harrison went there. Yeah, and I think John Lennon went there as well, and got done for looking up girls' skirts. So that's a big clue. And they give you this information when you turn up as a supply teacher. They give you a pack and it's got all of this in. And I just think that is so lovely and so organised. I know exactly what day the assemblies are on first thing in the morning and what day they're on just before lunch. I know what time lunch is. I know if different classes have different lunches. It's just so kind of them to have compiled it and put it together. Come the summer term, if my supply work dies down, I may well take myself off, trog around a few schools and say, listen, I'm a supply teacher. Have you got one of these in place? Could I stay for a half a day and do it for you, because it's just so valuable for supply teachers? It would get me into schools. It would get my name known, and they'd know I was serious about working. I've got my A to Z tabs there. When I go to a school and I fill in the information for it, I put that in the right place. I have got that school stuff there under D. Big clue. And I just love them. I think they're so kind to do that, and it just works so well. As they put it to me, if supply teachers know what they're doing, they can keep control, they can keep discipline, and it fosters the children's achievements, because the supply teacher's not just there as a class control, hey boys, hey. They're there to teach, and I just find that so lovely. I mean, you can walk into the school and you can actually teach. They have the lessons prepared for you. They'd say, can you do this? Can you do pollination? Oh yeah. Tell them the story. I had them wiggling bums because of bees and pollination, but they remembered, because the next day I went back, one of them came up and wiggled their bum at me. I'm going, yeah, thanks very much. You're pollinating flowers, I know. I have supply day and feedback in one section. If I'm in for just a day and I need to know just the information for that day, this is the one I would probably fill in with the teacher or the TA, whoever's giving me the lowdown on what that day is. It's got some of the same stuff, head teacher, deputy. It's got specific for just that class. Lunch times, have they provided work? Is there a timetable somewhere? Marking system again. Are there any assemblies this day? Did they give me a class list? You wouldn't believe how many schools don't bother giving you a class list. Are there any safeguarding issues? And any other issues goes down there. Okay, so I haven't got that many of those, but they're actually the ones that you fill in day to day. And this is my feedback sheet here. Okay, let me undo one and bring it out for you to see. Ooh. It's lovely. It's just an A4 sheet printed. It can't get any easier to print than that, actually. One of the agencies I work for gave me feedback sheets, but it's got the agency name stamped all over it, so I don't get to use it for my other agency, and I'm signed up with another two now. Basically, it's got the teacher's name, feedback for which class and which date, and AM and PM work. That's a very small gap for AM and PM work. So, of course, the backside is plain for any continuations that I need to do. Comments about work that needs to be followed up. Pupils' behaviour. Anybody who's been particularly good, particularly bad. Any other comments down there, and signed. And just a little, if you would like to book me again, please contact the agency and ask for Jo Neal as the teacher. Okay. Self-promotion. Absolute terrible self-promotion. If I don't get a full-time job, then I'm on supply. I might as well be the best supply I can. And I've got quite a few of those. I fill those in when I do a whole day. I don't fill those in if I'm only there for a morning, or if I'm only there for a lesson. So you don't get that for every lesson, you get that for the whole day. They do give good feedback though, and teachers say they're pleased about it, so I'm very happy. My spare sheets, my reference section, I'm rampaging through these because you've seen them before. Reference section's got my map, it's got British Cross First Aid, done as a booklet. It's got Health and Safety Executive First Aid. It's got my rewards, stickers. Woohoo! Smiley faces. Again, anything I can do to get the children to know. And it's got my my business stickers there, which I'm trying not to show you. A couple of papers at the back that nobody needs to know about. And I haven't got a pad in at the moment, but I have actually got a WH Smith's A5 wide-lined writing pad that fits there beautifully, and it costs £1.50, £1.75, so it cuts back on the price of the Filofax pad, and I can write in the lines because I have big writing. No nail varnish today. It's been one of those weekends. This is my brief respite from filling in forms, and very shortly I'm going visiting my mother. Dad had chest pains yesterday, he's in hospital, fingers crossed and prayers. I'll go and find out. The blood results say it's not a heart attack, so we'll have to go and see what it really is. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for knowing I'm a teacher inside. And I hope that you all have a really, really good May week, or a very good week whenever you watch this video, whenever you catch up with it. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp I turn my collar